We move on to our next keynote, which is on digital transformations, empowering manufacturing industries. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome on stage Baljeet Nagi, Director of SCM Business Development and Strategy at Oracle. Please give her a big, warm round of applause as she makes her way on stage.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. No, that was not good enough. We've all had breakfast, right? So let's say it again. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Better, thank you. First of all, thank you, Ms. Karak, for setting the stage. Excellent. It's all about digital transformation. And we are here today on this journey. Okay. So I have a very kind of intuitive discussion here. Digital transformation empowering manufacturing. Supply chains have been disrupted many a times. The linear supply chains were disrupted when Amazon introduced one-click shopping to be delivered anywhere, any place, any time. Then the next disruption that came in was a mainstream disruption of Industry 4.0. Everybody, including us personally and organizations, were so excited about automation, AI, machine learning, all of that, robots, and all of that mainstream disruption. But nothing was so major a disruption, the pandemic. It just brought the whole world to a standstill. Nobody ever even witnessed this. We as individuals, our families, beloved ones, loved ones, organizations were completely disrupted. We witnessed, and never in our lives, shelves being emptied, frontline workers working, trying to get things from A to B, vaccines, oxygen cylinders, foods, logistics, everything was disrupted. And look at us, we started working from home. That was the biggest disruption, supply chain disruption. You know, when I talked about the earlier disruptions in supply chain, nobody knew what supply chain was. And the pandemic has really raised the bar for supply chain. And we all know, even our children know what supply chain is. Even my mom knows what supply chain is. Right? So what did this do? What did the pandemic do? The ball doesn't stop there. Because what it did for industries, for example, you know, it actually, I call them the weakest links. They were exposed to the height. And we started talking about, in these 2 years of pandemic, to build resilient supply chains. That resilience, that tightness, that agility, that flexibility, that mobility. Empowering messaging to our industries. And all industries were impacted. Those clever ones who had actually learned from the previous disruption started the journey of digitalization. But manufacturing was the most hit industry. Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Because manufacturing is complex. They have these platforms which are so rigid, inflexible, people working there for years, right? And it's not possible for them to stop the manufacturing, even work from home, because they didn't have the tools and the technology. Okay? So this is what I'm saying. It doesn't stop there. Let's see if we haven't learned the lesson. What happened afterwards? The Suez Canal. Another disruption. There was blockage. Inventory was stuck. Orders were stuck. And manufacturing, again, was hit because everything starts from manufacturing. to be delivered, the goods have to be delivered. So the disruption is a message, and if we don't do anything, what I mean to say is the business platforms, specifically for manufacturing, who are so rigid, inflexible, that does not lend itself to embrace the greatest of the latest of the new technologies, they will never be in a competitive edge and probably die. So really it's all about the messages. It's all about changing the business platform to give you the agility, flexibility, mobility, governance, security, and real-time information. So that said, manufacturing challenges. It's really, they don't have real-time information. The platforms are so rigid. 37% of the biggest is 46% managing costs. And also look at today, everything is customer-centric. We are saying, I want something now. If I pick something to be delivered, I want it now. And the platforms really need to be so agile to change the needs of the customers, to become customer-centric. And that's what the message is all about. So manufacturing is really converting those raw materials into finished goods, because that's, at the end of the day, is what is it, the end product is. So it affects the retailers, wholesalers, and manufacturing is a canopy of industries. We talk about pharmaceuticals, minerals, mining, food, and all of that is really part of manufacturing. So it's really time for manufacturing companies to really change that such a rigid business platform that they have today. It doesn't stop there. The disruptions don't stop. Look what's happening today in the Russia-Ukraine war. We are still impacted. Manufacturing is again impacted. Russia is the third biggest supplier of neon gas, and that's needed for chips, plus other things. Ukraine, third richest country supplying wheat. And also sunflower oil. I just came back from the UK. My mom and my mom's friends, they actually use sunflower oil. It was a shortage of supplies. So, and you all read the news. What's happening today? Shortages of fuels, deliveries, etc. How many more disruptions do we need to make ourselves really kind of jump on that wagon of changing that business platform? And to change that business platform is a technology that needs to be embraced, and which is the cloud technology. Because if you don't enable that cloud technology and change the business platform, there is no way you will be embracing today what we called the smart factories, everything is smart manufacturing, smart logistics, AI, blockchain, machine learning. And most of all, become customer-centric. Change your business models on the fly. And that's what we need for manufacturing today. I have a lot of engagement with C-levels. And in my years I'm an accountant by profession as well. In my years, in terms of when we talk about, digital transformation or some kind of a transformation, it was always financials. But like I said, the disruption today has really raised the bar for supply chains. What that means is you have the finance side of your business, and you have the operational side of your business. The two strategies have to be aligned. And this is what gives you the components of a digital transformation. So C-level, look at this. This is beautiful. In manufacturing, is the C-levels really kind of trying to sign off this digital transformation? Because they've understood the whole of the end-to-end business needs to be connected. You cannot be in a silos. This is finance and now this is operations. No. Today, the world has to be completely end-to-end visibility. You know, during the pandemic, we talked about building the resilience, making everything tight, auditable, security. So some people started off on this side. Look at the efficiency cost and just look at the other side of the scale. What is important? Security data. You know, it's all very well changing that business platform, and you have to. But data is goldmine, because if you do not analyze that data and look at the insights and how the emerging technologies allow you to analyze that data, whether it's operational data coming from your IoT applications into your system or your ERP systems, and how do you analyze that data to make swift, proactive decisions. So this is where we are in terms of transforming and driving that digital transformations. Today's challenges, tomorrow's technology. Message for the manufacturing, brick and mortar. They really have to up the game. And, you know, 48% of manufacturing, they have to adopt the business platform, change that business platform. And those of you who are on that journey, they are reaping the benefits. But like I said, you know, data is absolutely paramount. Not just the data itself. I think the lady there from ICT beautifully alluded on to say, well, it's the people as well. Because in manufacturing, you probably know, people have been there for years and years and years, but the skills haven't been upped. So it's the skill set as part of digitalization also needs to be empowered. So, you know, in terms of what I talked about is inflexibility, working in silos, biggest challenges, lack of skill sets. But most importantly is really this. Change that business platform to give you the agility, flexibility, mobility, security, real-time information. All of that needs to happen. And most of all, that's what it is when we talk about enable smart manufacturings, smart factories, smart logistics, smart cities, and so on and so forth. And also, in manufacturing, servitization. It's just not all about producing end products like goods and services. Services is really part of servitization. New business models. So why Oracle for manufacturing? I'm not a salesperson, but we have everything that you need. A complete suite of applications, infrastructure, innovation technologies, faster, tools that needs to empower you to give you what I just talked about. So we have something called the cloud applications. We've been in this journey. I've been in Oracle for 25 years. And I remember the days when we had the on-premise applications. Now, these SaaS applications are new. They've been built bottom up. New applications, they have got embedded emerging technologies, the AIs, the machine learnings, the dashboards, the intuitive dashboards, etc. And all of these applications, whether it's supply chain, ERP, HCM, they're all connected with each other. And what it means is that it actually sits on a very powerful infrastructure that drives the production, the security, the mobility, the automation, and as I said, the blockchains and MLs and machine learning, everything is kind of packed in one platform. Security is key. We also have a data center in South Africa. Very soon we will have applications hosted in that data center. So this is really what we're seeing, a complete suite of applications. I brought this busy slide up because I get asked questions a lot when I engage with my customers, and specifically for manufacturing customers. Because manufacturing is complex. Those of you who know manufacturing. There's process manufacturing. There's discrete manufacturing. Everything is different. Accounting is different. Costing is different. The end product is different. So in terms of, end-to-end applications in our portfolio. I take a breather here. What does this slide tell us? When I talk about an end-to-end applications, new applications with Oracle, SaaS applications with a very intuitive infrastructure underpinning it, it's all empowering the digital age of manufacturing. Something what we called as a digital thread. So everything is connected, from commercial being connected digital innovation, lead cash to order, or digital transform, smart digital supply chains, smart manufacturing, smart logistics. What's the digital thread? It's an end-to-end visibility of your business processes, underpinned by the smart technologies, IoTs, MLs, machine learning, robots, etc. Now, this is really a summarized footprint of Oracle's digital thread, which gives you smart manufacturing, smart logistics, everything smart that you need. The IoTs, the machine learnings. So what does this give you? The voice of the digital twin. In manufacturing, what's a digital twin? Allows you to do simulations, what-if scenarios, voice of the factory, what's going on? What is it that need to fix? Predictive maintenance, preventative maintenance, downtimes, voice of the factory, voice of the product, quality, and voice of the customer. Customer-centric. If your customers doesn't like something, you need to change it. You need to change whatever needs to be changed. So hence, a packed, integrated, end-to-end applications and the infrastructure to give you the smart factories, the smart digital transformations. And most of all, let's not forget, you cannot drive digital transformation without people. People is fundamental. So we also give you that applications to actually how do you empower skill sets to drive the digital transformations. Okay. I put this slide in. This is part of the applications. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? Planning is fundamental in every organization or industry. Not just in organizations. Look at ourselves. Don't we plan? Don't we plan for our holidays? Don't we plan for our children going to school? There is planning happening. Don't we have an Excel spreadsheet at home? Yes, we do. And if we do planning ourselves at home so meticulously, that planning has to happen in the organizations. So I talked about the financial planning, which has been there. The accountants, etc., they've been doing that. But today, that financial planning needs to be married with the operational planning. And this is what we call as integrated business planning, fundamental. The IoTs I talked about. And how am I doing with time? Because I talk a lot. Good, okay. You know, I get excited, and I love this topic. Scientists in a box, right? In terms of data scientists in a box. I engage with my customers who have got IoT app platforms, but the projects have failed. Why? Because they do not have the machine learning, the dashboards, the algorithms. They have to churn them themselves. The projects fail. And today, with Oracle at least, we give you the IoT applications, which has the applications, the platform, the machine learning, the algorithms, and also the dashboards. So the data science in a box, we give it to you as part of our applications. So really, this is what's enabling the smart factories, the smart cities, automation. Track and trace. Wow. Part of IoT applications, blockchain, smart contracts. If I'm shipping vaccines, let's take a good example because everybody knows about this story about vaccines, oxygen cylinders. If I have to transport that from A to B and something goes wrong, I need to track them. I need to have a mechanism to track it. Is my temperature going down? What is it I need to fix? Most of all, recalls, right? I must have, if I want to recall a product, how will I recall a product if I don't know the genealogy, the serial numbers? And this is what track and trace does. It allows you to, bring back those products. So hence, really kind of a very empowered part of our Oracle solutions. And I love this. Who doesn't? Analytics. What good is my applications that I talked about if I didn't have a dashboard? As a CIO, CEO, COOs, VPs of manufacturing, VPs of logistics, I need to see my dashboards, end to end. I come in, I say to the robots, pull me up today's supply chain dashboard. And this is what we do. The dashboard comes up and says, Baljeet, I think we've got some problems there. Yeah. So this is really the dashboards that we're talking about. I'm nearly there. And of course, don't forget sustainability. A big, big topic. And we also give you as part of our applications. And also we're in the leader quadrant for Gartner. And, again, we have our hubs where you can give you demonstration of our smart factories. And by the way, we have a great event that's taking place in Las Vegas. So reach out to me or my colleagues for more information. Okay, I think I'm just running out of time, but I just really want to conclude with this slide. Your digital transformations will not happen if you don't align your strategies right. You have to prevent the silos. Everything needs to be connected. You need to have, everybody speaking to themselves, aligning with themselves, and most importantly, driving their skill sets with your people and leveraging the emerging technologies. Because I put this up, a lot of my customers are failing on this digital transformation. And this is just the tips that we have picked up in terms of how can you drive successful digital transformations. So like I said, I talk a lot, and I just want to say thank you, and we are around, and we shall be happy to take up any questions after the break. So thank you so much.